What is up? What is up? And the Chicago Bulls defeat the Lakers twice. So Lonzo Ball completely sweeps the Lakers these last two times they play the Lakers. So they only played the Lakers twice and they won both times. Now, both teams did not have the pieces. There were people out because of the health protocol, but the Chicago Bulls win a very exciting game. And before I go into that game, I gotta go into the Myles Turner trade, right? A lot of people are saying, since the Pacers have put Myles Turner and a couple of players on the trade block, they're rebuilding. A lot of people want Myles Turner on the Chicago Bulls, right? So before I get into the game, I gotta talk about this trade rumor or trade piece or whatever you want to call it, right? A lot of people want Myles Turner on the Bulls. In fact, even I've been championing Myles Turner on the Bulls for a while. But guys, Myles Turner might not be what the Bulls need. So I'm going to read a quote from Myles Turner. He says, "It's clear that I'm not valued as anything more than a glorified role player, and I want something more. More opportunity, Turner told The Athletic Tuesday. I'm trying really hard to make the role that I'm given here work and find a way to maximize it. I've been trying the past 2-3 seasons, but it's clear to me that just numbers wise, I'm not valued as more than a rotational role player, and I hold myself in a higher regard than that." Okay, so that was a quote from Myles Turner. Guys, Myles Turner has an ego, right? And there's nothing wrong with having an ego. Zach LaVine has an ego. DeMar DeRozan has an ego. As much as these guys like to say, oh, there's no ego on the team, and no, all these people have egos. They all have egos. They know they're good players on any NBA team. And Myles Turner is not going to be satisfied being a third option, right? He wants to be either the first option or the second option, but being a third or fourth option is not going to cut it for Myles Turner. That's not what he wants to do. Myles Turner wants plays ran for him. He wants an offense centered around him, right? That's not going to work with the Chicago Bulls. It is simply not. And Myles Turner is not going to be what we need as a role player, right? We need a big man, a 4 or 5 that's going to play defense, box out, put back dunks, all the little things, right? As much as I would love a Myles Turner on the squad or whatever, it's about fit, it's about chemistry, and it's about roles, right? Myles Turner cannot be demanding the ball in the fourth quarter. That's like DeMar DeRozan is the king of the fourth, and Zach LaVine fills in here or there, right? Listen, he has an ego, and he won't fit this squad, right? I would rather them go after a Tristan Thompson. You're going to say, what? Tristan Thompson, the Kardashian dude and the drama? And Tristan Thompson can box out, play defense, put back dunks, and rebound. That's what we need. We need somebody to rebound, box out, set screens, all the little things, right? Tristan Thompson would be a perfect fit for the Chicago Bulls because he knows what his role is. He knows he's not a star, right? He does not have an ego, and he can do the things that we want him to do, right? Rebound, set screens, box out, put back dunks, etc. He knows he's not getting plays ran for him, right? He knows he's not going to shoot the ball 20 times or get 10 plus touches each quarter. He knows that, right? That's the type of person you need on the squad. Myles Turner, as much as I love his game, he's a big name, all of that, he's going to want the ball, shoot the ball 20 times. He's going to want plays ran for him, offense centered around him, and he's just not going to fit with the squad. Now, if the Chicago Bulls manage to get a Myles Turner, cool, right? I'm just not holding out for a Myles Turner because I know it's just not going to fit chemistry-wise. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe if we get a Myles Turner, everything will be different. But from what I've seen, I'm just not too high on the Myles Turner trade. That's just me, right? We need a role player, and a good role player to me would be a Tristan Thompson. There's others, but Tristan Thompson seems to fit the mold of what I want from the Chicago Bulls needing. So we'll see at the trade deadline what the Chicago Bulls do. But back to the game. Chicago Bulls win 115-110, and this was a very exciting game, right? Now, the Chicago Bulls kind of let the Lakers stay in the game, right? The Lakers, they had, 19 turnovers. Usually, once you get into that high turnover range, it's usually a blowout. But the Lakers stood in the game. They were making shots. They still had LeBron. They still had a few core pieces playing. I would say that both teams were at an equal, right? We don't have Zach LaVine. They don't have Anthony Davis. We don't have a few rotational pieces. they don't have a few rotational pieces. So I would say they were perfectly matched. It's not like, oh, one team, they have like a huge healthy roster and the other team, there's nothing they can do about it. No, we were pretty much even. We both had players out. And this game was competitive for the most part. Even though it was kind of sloppy at points, it was very competitive. And it was a fun game to watch because at the end, you didn't know who. It was literally down to a couple possessions. The Bulls would take a 1-point lead. The Lakers would take a 1-point lead. Like, it just kept going back and forth. And it was a very entertaining and good watch. And the Chicago Bulls sweep the Lakers. They only played the Lakers twice and they won both games. So it was fun to see. It was great to see. This is not a good Lakers squad. But let's get into my boy Lonzo. While we're here, right? So Lonzo Ball, he played 38 minutes. He had 19 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds. This was a great game by Lonzo. If I had to give Lonzo a grade, I'm giving Lonzo like an A-, because this was just, Lonzo even got to the free throw line. 2 from 2 from the free throw line at the end of the game. When the free throws mattered, he nailed both of them, right? Closed out the game. Great to see from Lonzo. It was fun to watch. Lonzo did his thing. And I liked how he was aggressive, man. Lonzo was taking it to the rim. Mid-range, floaters, threes. This is what you need to see from Lonzo, right? Just offensively, being aggressive, diversifying his shots, not just living behind the 3-point range, not just taking bad mid-ranges, attacking the basket, and he even got to the free throw line and made 2 clutch free throws. 2 clutch free throws. He made both of them, right? So it was just great game to see by Lonzo, and everyone else did their thing too. Alex Caruso, who played 38 minutes, 9 rebounds, 17 points, 2 assists. Again, whenever Alex Caruso or Lonzo play against their former teams, especially Lonzo, they have a little, a little chip on their shoulder. Of course, they won't claim they have it, but they go hard when they play against their former teams. If Lonzo plays against the Pelicans, he's usually going to have a great game. Lonzo plays against the Lakers, he's usually going to have a great game. In fact, Lonzo's season high for the Chicago Bulls, 27 points, was against the Lakers. So this was a great game by Lonzo. Lonzo said in his mind, man, the Lakers are going to regret trading me. And Lonzo proved it this game. So it was a fun game to watch. Fun game to see. The guys, they did their thing, man. We're not going to have Zach LaVine for another week. They're saying until after Christmas he can come back. And the Chicago Bulls play a back-to-back. So the next game they play is going to be against the Houston Rockets. So we'll see how that goes. But it was a great game to watch. Another win for the Chicago Bulls. They missed a couple of games due to the health protocols, right? But they're still in second place. So another win against a West Coast team is great. They play another West Coast team tomorrow. So again, we don't have Derrick Jones Jr. He actually had a hamstring injury, unfortunately. And a couple like Io, Alizé, there's a couple people still in the health protocols. But again, we got good minutes from Alfonso McKinney. We got good minutes from Lonzo. Vooch did his thing. DeMar DeRozan, the king of the fourth, man. DeMar DeRozan is doing DeMar DeRozan things. He played 34 minutes, 4 rebounds, 6 assists, and he had 38 points. Like, DeMar DeRozan's a dark horse for MVP. Do I think DeMar DeRozan's going to win MVP over Steph Curry? No, I think Steph is going to get his 3rd MVP because he just broke another 3-point record, and the Warriors have the best they're the number 1 seed in the Western Conference. So I think the MVP voting will go to Steph Curry. But DeMar DeRozan's having, if not the best season of his career, one of the best seasons of his career. He's the king of the fourth. I think he's solidified now that, hey, listen, when the game's on the line, you give me the ball, not Zach. I take the most shots in the fourth quarter, right? Him and Jason Tatum are tied for the most fourth quarter points in like the NBA. So again, DeMar DeRozan with the clutch free throws, getting to the basket, damn near scoring at will, and efficiently as that as well too. Great game by DeMar DeRozan. And this Lakers squad, man, I don't know. This is what happens when you have LeBron at the GM. I don't feel bad for the Lakers at all. They like to do things inorganically. They're name chasers, right? They want the big names. I think in retrospect, I don't think they make that Russell Westbrook trade. Now, Russell Westbrook's been playing better as of late, but he's just a name, and he's getting paid a lot of money. If I'm not mistaken, next year they're paying Russell Westbrook like $44 million a year. $44 million a year. Like, listen, Russell Westbrook cannot shoot. Like, He's probably the player that has the highest motor in the NBA. Highest motor in the NBA. A lot of drive, offensive motor, but basketball IQ, and he can't shoot. He can't shoot. This is what happens when you have LeBron as the GM, because LeBron is gonna stat pad, right? He's gonna have all these big names, but that's not what the team needs, right? The only person I was glad to see out there was Isaiah Thomas, because even though he was playing against us, he's played with Lonzo on the Pelicans, and he's played with Lonzo on the Lakers at an earlier stint. I really want to see Isaiah Thomas in the league, man. He's on a 10-day contract with the Lakers now, but I want to see Isaiah win, because he's a cautionary story of do what's best for you, right? Isaiah Thomas back in the day was an MVP candidate. He nearly won the MVP with that Boston Celtics squad. He went for, sacrificed his body, played through adversity, and he got traded, right? Imagine making an all-star team, playing like an MVP. You were like second or third in MVP votes, right? To then getting traded, sacrificing your body just so the team doesn't have to pay you a contract. Or it was just crazy how the league and the Celtics did him dirty. And then shortly after that, bouncing from team to team, this dude played for the Cavs, then the Lakers, then the Nuggets, then the Wizards, and then he found himself out of the league, and he was just fighting back. To now, he went from MVP voting to getting on 10-day contract. So even if the Lakers don't sign him to a 10-day contract, with Isaiah and his scoring, I can see him getting a veteran minimum on some team. Some team is going to give him a veteran minimum. It may not be the Lakers, but with the output he's given them, I can see that happening. So I want the best for Isaiah. I really like Isaiah. And this Lakers team is just so dysfunctional. Who knows? They might have a fire sale. They may, I don't know. But I don't see the Lakers. If the Lakers make it to the playoffs, they're getting eliminated in the first round. I see the Lakers as a 7th, 8th team. A 7th, 8th seed, honestly. So we'll see. But again, this is a great game by the Chicago Bulls. I loved what I was seeing, man. Lonzo did his thing. Hopefully they can carry it to the next game, because they're playing a back-to-back. So we'll see. But if you agree with me, disagree with me, let me know in the comments down below. It's your boy For All to Envy. Don't forget to hit that subscribe. I'm out.